Before we begin, I'd just like to say that there will be no spoilers for the story at all in this video, so no need to worry. Resident Evil Requiem is something else. It's only the second title that I've tried from the series so far. The first that I have tried being Village, but I promise I'm going to try the rest of them. I've got them in my library just waiting for me to try. Going into Requiem, I was expecting a good game, but I was not expecting to leave with the opinion that it could be a potential game of the year. And well, the numbers back it up as well. It's the most played game at launch and the best selling Resident Evil game ever, with 5 million copies sold in 5 days, which is just ridiculous. Nothing ever has come that close. Just the quality of every single aspect within this title is just beyond all expectations. It just looks superior to anything we've had recently. The gameplay, the story, the graphics, the details, the atmosphere, acting, all of it just peak. I think we'll start with the gameplay aspect here first. So you play as both the characters alongside each other, which is similar concept than to what we had in Last of Us 2, which is the last time I believe that's happened really. But I truly think this is the best adaptation that we've seen of that so far. The main difference being is that in this one, the two characters actually work together instead of Last of Us 2, where you have Abby and Ellie fighting each other. The times you play as Grace, you're walking through the levels absolutely terrified. Everything is extra scary whenever you get to play as her.
Oh shit!
And then after you're a bit sick of getting scared, you get to switch over to Leon and just demolish everything in your path.
I think you need to know this.
I think that mix of putting as much pressure on you as possible and then alleviating it when you switch to Leon is such a good concept, and I think it's done beautifully. The combat is great. Of course, this really gets to shine fully when you're playing as Leon, but even the mechanics when you're hiding with Grace and everything, it's all really satisfying. Story wise, of course I'm not going to spoil it. All I'm going to say is just that it's a good length, and it is good. That's all you need to know. One thing I think this game nails perfectly is atmosphere, especially when you get to play as Grace. That opening sequence when you're in a hotel trying to run away with your mom is honestly the most well put together atmosphere I've probably experienced to date, I think. I genuinely could not really name anything that's come close.
Fix soon, I just need to find my...
No, Grace! No! Grace, stay close to me.
This of course is helped by the amazing voice and sound mastering that they've been able to do, and of course the voice acting as well is just absolutely incredible. I think they've all done a fantastic job. The last time I've seen voice acting this good, same with like models and how the characters look when they speak, is Last of Us 2. I know I keep bringing it up and people don't like it because of the story.
Coward!
Which I think is worthy to use as a comparison, as it was industry leading in terms of how well everything was put together. Anyway, back to Requiem. The thing that I thought looks best before this, like the peak of graphics, is Cyberpunk, in my opinion. When you have ray tracing and path tracing on that, it's just next level. but with Requiem I think it pushed it a step beyond that, although I don't think you can compare them one to one since Cyberpunk's open world, so there's more detail, and on top of it, it runs well, which is, to be honest, as soon as I saw all the Nvidia advertising stuff, I was like, oh, they're gonna add path tracing and everything, and it's just gonna run horribly, but considering all the extra stuff they put on top that's not fully necessary, it runs really well, and it looks good. I'll put my settings here along with my PC setup and the frames that I've been getting with that, so you guys can get an idea. Well, the graphics are fantastic. The one aspect that really stood out for me, graphics wise, is the hair physics. But this whole hair thing was started with Nvidia Hairworks for Witcher 3, and just to see how far it's come to what we have here now, it's just crazy to me. Even though it's such a small thing, it makes such a big difference, especially when you use the third person mode that they have in that. There's a lot of very good detail as well, very high quality, with things like models to the areas. You get all those Easter eggs to the previous game when you go back to Raccoon City. I think another gameplay feature, or well, thing that they decided to do, was limit the amount of inventory space that you have. Because in Village, for example, you did have a space to store quite a bit of stuff, but with this I was actually quite challenged in the way that I would find something, I'd try to pick it up, and I'd have to throw something else away that I would find useful. I've seen a lot of people on X complaining about this and saying it's bad game design, but I think for something like this it works really well. I get why people would be mad if something was too restrictive in terms of an RPG, but with something like this I think it makes sense. You do also have a ton of replayability as well. As soon as you finished your first playthrough, you can come back for the insanity mode, where things are harder and more scarcer, but it also limits the amount of saves that you can have. But yeah, overall, I rarely would give this, but genuinely 10 out of 10. Fantastic job, and I definitely will come back to this one again at some point. Let me know what you think.